Get your head on it. Come on. I've been buzzing with a fucking camera.
The last fight he had with Mitch Mitchell, for where Sam is at the moment in his career, I thought that was a massive test. And I believe he boxed okay against Mitch, but I still think if the camp had went better coming up with that, you would have seen a better performance on the night. But I think he done really well in that fight, considering that he only had 1 week spawn because of these injuries. But this time round, I think you'll see it. Tidy boxer. Fitness isn't an issue with Sam, you know. You've got to drag him out of the gym kicking and screaming some nights, you know. He's a perfectionist, you know, and when he commits to something, he does commit 100%.
Come and help you, that's the sort of fella he is. You know, I remember once he was on his own licence circuit. He was having a show doing it at the Scotchy Club, and he just found out that a friend of his had passed away. Without any notice, just that same day, a few buckets together, got a few people to go round at the venue and raised about 350, 400 quid towards the cost of the kid's funeral, you know. And that's the sort of bloke he is, when the chips are doing, he's there.
Kind of beat it, man. Just a professional boxer, you know what I mean? You kind of beat it with that experience, especially with them being your mate as well. The amount he brings you on, just sparring with him, he teaches you things on the pads, things like that. It's just a pleasure to work with.
I honestly think if he works hard and stays the course like he has 2015, I think there's amazing things ahead of him. There's got to be title prospects by the end of it.
You can never be too serious enough in this sport. If you're not taking it seriously, you're in the wrong sport, you know what I mean? It's boxing. It's like the Gant Awards, you know what I mean? You've got to be in it to win it, and Sam's definitely that. He encourages me, motivates me, you know.
22 years old, professional boxer, 4 fights, 4 wins, 5th fight coming up this Friday. How did the boxing story start with you?
Yeah, I think it was just basically at a young age, just basically working myself, fighting, and just thought what I can do in a boxing gym. It was a couple of that started. Well, I was young, I think I was about 14. Went down to Glen Macquarie's gym. We just went doing a mess debut really. Must have done it for about 3 weeks. Just that was it really. Just went on to a different gym a bit localer. Then went down there and I was training. I think I was training for about 4 weeks. And one day the coach come in and was sitting training. He told me and another lad to stop training. I can't clean the gloves out. That's what it is. This gym's not for me really. So I'm not cleaning people's gloves for people. And then I moved from there. I went to another gym, another amateur gym, North Benwell. It was a good gym. I did learn a lot from there. I think I was there for about 4 or 5 months. Asked to fight, wasn't allowed. And, the lad I started with, he was fighting, got a little bit jealous and spat the dummy out and quit. And that was that. And then I heard Jimmy and Matty were running a gym over here. I didn't know Jimmy or Matty personally. I knew Jimmy's son. And he was like, oh, why don't you come along? Why don't you come along? Yeah. I'm done with the boxing. It's not my game, you know. I didn't think it was. And it was about two weeks went on. He was keep asking it, and I thought, look, I'm gonna come doing. I'm just gonna come doing it. I just come in and loved it. Absolutely loved it. I loved the way they've done everything. You know, everything was done with like an iron fist. You know, it's just the way they present themselves, the way they come across, and it's not one person got treated differently. Everyone was the same. Doesn't matter if you were the best kid in the gym or you were a new starter. You got treated exactly the same as everyone else. There was no special treatment, no nothing with them. So I just absolutely loved it. And then I think I was in about 2 weeks, and then I think Jimmy took a shine to us, and then about 3 weeks later, Matty took a shine, and then that was it. I've never ever went back since. And Jimmy come in and said, I've got your first fight. You're fighting in 2 weeks. I thought, oh, brilliant! I'm ready to fight. So I trained me hard out for another week. I was always in training. I was in training. He'd come in and he says, right, I want you at mine at 6:30 tomorrow morning. I said, 6:30? I says, what time we're fighting? He goes, this bet me 6:30 in the morning. I goes, right, okay. What can I argue? So I went there 6:30. And he goes, right, we're going to do it in Portsmouth. I says, so I had to go all the way down to Portsmouth for my first fight. So it was like a 7-hour drive. So anyways, we got down there. remember warming up and I felt great, you know. I thought I was good, and everything was going great. And then I remember the whip. He come into the changing room and he goes, "Right, Sam, best," and that was it. I just thought I didn't want to do this anymore. Everything went out. Everything went out the window for us. I just didn't want to fight. I just turned to Jimmy. I said, "Jimmy, I don't want to do this no more." He's like, "You've got to know, yeah." I was like, "Oh, Jimmy, Matty, look, I don't want to fight. I'm not fighting. And I've still got the DVD. And you can literally see Jimmy pushing us to the ring. He's pushing us, and I'm trying to get him back. And he's pushing us in the ring, and I got beat. I think I got beat by a point. I boxed a 25-year-old. He had something like 4 fights, but nevertheless, I went the distance. I'd only got beat by a point, and I hated every second. I was in that ring. I hated it. I was going back to the corner. I said, "I don't want to do this." I just pulled us out. And I remember as soon as the final bell went, they gave a decision. I was heartbroken. I just thought, And then Jimmy goes, "Oh, I didn't really soon retire." And I went, "No, I said, "No, I said, I need to train harder for the next one." He's like, "Are you fighting again?" I goes, "Aye." So I said, "I want to fight again." I think I went on. I think I won my next 7. So I got a proper spark from then. As much as I hated going into the ring, I absolutely loved it at the same time. But I think every boxer does get that. I think it was just nerves, and I think it was just a normal.
How many fights in the unlicensed side did you have altogether?
I think I had 20. I had 20 unlicensed fights. That's what I had. I had 24 fights altogether. So I had 20 unlicensed fights, which was a massive jump to go pro. Obviously, so unexperienced. But that being said, on the unlicensed, I did box some quite big names. On the unlicensed, there was a lot of good kids I boxed. I boxed there, like the James McCory. A lot of people know him for the bare knuckle champion. And all that. I did box big names when I was just first coming up. So I was always getting great experience, and obviously when we trainers, I was always going out and getting great sparring and things like that. So I sort of caught on quite quick, if the truth was told. But I boxed at such a high level, at such an early start, I just kind of got hide in the deep end, and I just stuck with it from there.
You were able to swim.
And that was it, just able to swim, able to survive really.
Now you've had 4 fights as a pro. What are the main differences that you've found with the professional fights compared to the unlicensed side?
Dedication. You've got to be dedicated. If you're going to be a professional athlete, this is how I look at it personally. If you're going to be a professional athlete, therefore you've got to be dedicated. You're setting an example for anyone else who's looking to go into the sport as you stand as a professional athlete. So you've got to live the right lifestyle. You've got to hang around with the right kind of people. You can have negative people in your life. Troublemakers, being like that.
Distractions.
Distractions. You've got to make sacrifices. There's loads of things you cannot do. Nights out with the lads down the town, weddings, christenings, all that. You've got to miss them. Yeah, because you've got to be in training. You've got to go on runs at 6:30 in the morning. So it's things like that. You've got to dedicate yourself. And I think in the pros, a lot of people don't dedicate themselves to what they should. But at the same time, a lot of people do, and a lot of people do realise what it's about. But since turning pro, I've dedicated myself a lot more to boxing than what I did. I took time off work. Obviously I diet now. I brought nutritionists in. Just dedication.
What weight do you tend to go in, and what was the heaviest that you've actually fought at?
I box now at light heavyweight. I box at 12.7. I think the lightest I've ever boxed, I think, was my second professional fight. I think I weighed in at 12.2. So I weighed in at basically super middleweight there. The heaviest I've ever boxed. You cannot judge us. You cannot judge us, yeah. I think I was 16 stone and 2 pounds, but the heaviest I've ever been was 17 stone. But I think the heaviest I ever boxed was 16 stone. And
full-blown heavyweight.
I beat the kid. I knocked him out, funny enough. But I beat him. But it wasn't right. It just wasn't right. Yeah, good like that and everything, but nevertheless I lost it. So it was all good.
Sometimes it's all about timing, though, isn't it? It's you think about your early boxing experiences, going into maybe the wrong gym, having the wrong influences there. Maybe you weren't ready at the time. And just you getting together with Jimmy and with Matt, and obviously now with Tink, it's the timing, just the right blend. But you can get the right blend at the wrong time, and it won't work. And you, where you are now, you've had the indiscipline. You've turned pro quite likely at the right time, which means you've still got lots of time to develop as you're going forward. Now, the training, you see, you learn something every day. What's the most important lesson you've learned in boxing?
Most important lesson? Truthfully, and I'm not just saying it because the man standing there, it probably is from Tink. I was quite a negative person when it came to boxing. If I'd done something wrong or I had a bad spell in a session, that was it. I would hide the gloves, I'm quitting, I'm this, I didn't want to box, I would have chad in my eyes. Because I did take it quite personally, and I think we're down North Shields, we're down North Shields spawn, we're down North Shields, and I'd done a spawn session, I didn't do very well. And I said, I've had enough, I'm rubbish, I can't do this. I said, I'm not ready for pros. And he says, look, instead of looking at all the negatives of what happened, why don't you try and take it a bit positive? Just have a look what you've done wrong and then have a look how to put it right. So every time I feel bad about myself, I'll just say, look, I've done this wrong, but this is how I'm going to put it right. So in the next session, anything I've done wrong, I'll just say, right, I'm going to put it right by doing this.
So you're focusing on the solution rather than the problem?
Than the problem, exactly. Don't get us wrong, I do get days where sometimes I do the same thing, and then things straight at me, just calming us down again. But that's probably the best lesson I've ever learned when it comes to boxing. What
would you say is your biggest asset or your biggest strength as a boxer?
Probably my heart. I'm not one of these that go in half-hearted in anything. I'll go in and I'll commit myself 1,000,000% of the time. I don't see myself that much, like I wouldn't even class myself as talented. I wouldn't. But when it comes to hard work and work ethic, I'll work it. No matter what day of the week, I'll work it. You might be blessed with 100 more skills in this, that and the other, but I'll work it. If we get in that ring together, I'm going to work it. Yeah. If we get on a treadmill together, you're getting off first or I'm going to die. It's that simple, you know. I'll work it every time. I'll just
natural competitive edge.
I've just work ethic, constant work. I'm not the most talented person in the world, but I'll keep doing something until I can get it right.
Well, people talk about natural talent, and they say natural punching power, and that's people have got natural punching power maybe because certain elements of strength, but because of the technique, the way that their style, and you can teach all these things.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can practice all these things.
So ever since I come into it, I always got told hard work beats talent when talent doesn't want to work hard.
Yeah.
So it was just always working hard for me, just constantly work hard. And if you do something a million times, you're going to get better at it each time you do it. It's just repetitive, and eventually you'll get it right.
What's your, how do I ask it, what would you say your ambitions are in professional boxing?
Well, like I was saying before, I've never done anything half-hearted, so when I generally have gone to this, I generally do want to be at a world-class level, at the best level I can be, which will be winning titles, hopefully will be winning titles. That's what I do expect from myself, just world titles. I generally want to be the best kind of person I can be. I generally want to go down and people will see me as that was a kid from Lempton, he come from nothing, he's a world champion, I can do it. You know, I'm all one for trying to inspire the younger generation to believe they can.
Yeah.
They can do things, you know, and I think that's quite important in yourself, to believe in yourself.
And be the best you can be.
Yeah, definitely. There's a very fine line between confidence and arrogance. I think you've got to wear them out perfectly well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm arrogant. I am quite confident in myself and I'm quite confident in my skills. And if I ever try and go above that, I've got a good team to keep us keep us firmly on the floor. You know, I think I've got a good team around us to stop any of that happening. I think that's a massive problem in boxing. A lot of people do get a couple of knockouts and a couple of good wins and they think they're invincible and then you see they'll get beat. I think with my team that'll not happen with that. I think they're very firm on the floor. Right, you've done good, but you've done this wrong. You've got to do this better next time. Which it's good with the bad. But as far as the question goes, just to generally be the best I could be.
Who would you say is your biggest boxing hero?
Biggest boxing hero? Got to be Roy Jones Jr. By far, easy. I don't think there's a man that could box like him. Yeah. On his heyday, I think he's
in the 90s.
I think he's past it now. He's got nothing more to prove. But I think in his heyday he was just fabulous. You know, he just was. He was Mr. Untouchable. He couldn't be beat. Yeah, I think it's just a boxer's pride got to his head and he boxed on a bit too long and he's still boxing now, which he's got nothing more to prove really.
I think when he went up to heavyweight and then coming down and losing the weight again, I think that impacted his punch resistance, and I don't think he was ever the same fighter after that. But from a middleweight to go up and win the heavyweight title.
Exactly, but then why would a middleweight want to go all the way up there to come all the way back down? It's not really clever. I mean, it's good how he done it because no one ever done it, yeah. But yeah, he's got nothing more to prove. So to me personally, Roy, you've got to retire. Come from a massive fan, you've got to retire. I don't want to see you get hurt. But no, by far Roy Jones Jr. He's just the greatest.
What's your favourite boxing match you've ever seen?
Boxing match or boxing fight? Because there's a difference between them.
Two different answers, give me them both.
If I was going to watch a fight, it would probably be Gatti and Ward. When it comes to heart, and it comes to general fighting, it'll be them too, because I feel like they just give everything in the ring.
Commitment.
But they just 100%, they were just toe for toe, pound for pound, and just a better man won really, just by punches. It was an absolute great fight, a great fight for our fans from start to finish really. And me personally, and a lot of people probably disagree, but if you want to watch good boxing, you've got to go and watch Floyd. You just get a classic example of what boxing's about. It's just hitting up. A lot of people don't like him, a lot of people see he runs, he does this, but he boxes. So that's boxing. So,
would you class yourself more of a boxer or a fighter?
Definitely a boxer. Yeah, I'll not get caught in something I don't need to. If I have to go and fight, I can go and fight. But I'll not drag myself into something when I don't have to. If I can outbox the person in front of us, I will outbox the person in front of us. But that being said, if I've got to go and fight and I've got to bite my gum shield and I've got to bite down, I'll do it. I've proved I can do it. Yeah, I done it with Cooper. I proved I had to do it with Cooper. Where then again, I showed with Lynn that I can show off my boxing skills just as good and all. So I've got a bit of both really, but I was trying to try and box me. I was trying to try and show me skills. It's boxing, not fighting.
Who's the team behind Sam Best?
Well, we've got the three coaches. We've got Matt Jobs, who is the head coach. He does more of the technical stuff. He's like the head coach, obviously. He does most of the pad work, but the head coach. And you've got Colin Kaler, everyone knows him as Tink. Big Col, I call him. He's a strength and conditioning coach. He does all the strength and conditioning work, all the weights, all the circuits and whatnot. And he does do a lot of power work with us too. Then you've got Jimmy. Jimmy's more of the observer. He sits and he makes sure everything goes smoothly. Really, he just
fine tuning.
Fine tuning. He sits and watches, the perfectionist. Then you've got Chris Davison from Custom Diets, actually my main sponsor. Obviously he gives us all my nutritionist, all my diets, all my diet plans, all that sort of thing. Make sure I'm feeling tip top at all times. Then we've got Richard Goodson, which is my physio, where any injuries, any niggles, anything like that, he's the one that sorts everything like that out. So that's then obviously you've got the King's Army, which is a support, which obviously you need more than anything. They're just like another man in your corner really. But when it comes to the team, I generally feel like I have probably got the best team out there. When I look at other boxers and I see they have got good teams, but I'll probably say we're more like a family. We're all very close and everyone communicates throughout it. You'll see Tink talks to Chris sometimes, you know, and Tink talks to Richard a lot, and if Tink's doing some sort of weight, if Richard's not happy with if they talk together, then you'll see Matty talk to Chris about a diet plan, and it's just like
everybody
a family
working together.
As much as the team, it's like a family, everyone works together and everyone works beautifully like that. So it's just great that everyone works together like that.
Well, when you say it's the best team, it's the best team for you, the best team for the best boxer.
Best team for the best boxer.
You're driven, you're very determined. What is the driving force that keeps you so motivated?
Obviously, if you know us personally, you know I'm not from the best background in the world ever. So boxing was always a good way out for me. It was always a chance to make it out of a bad place and go on to better things in the world. I think boxing can be kind. It can also be mean. I was a massive believer, and I still do believe that boxing could get me out and into a better place. And I was always fighting for me, and I was always fighting for my little brother at the time. You know, I was always going to get out. Obviously now I've got a new arrival. I've got a little boy coming on the way, so it's a bit more fuel to the fire to fight for there.
There's motivation for you.
You're not going to get better motivation really, but it was always a way out. It was always a way out. A way to get out of a bad place and a way to get into a better place. You know, and that was really it. I just always wanted to work my way out. And I generally believe I deserve the finer things in life, and I believe I had to work to get it, so I work hard every day. And every time I feel like giving up, I'm reminded by, if not my little brother, if not the new arrival, and then if not, I owe it to my coaches, I owe it to Tink, Matty and Jimmy, I owe it to them, all the hard work they ever put in, you know. You always see the boxer saying, oh, it's good how you do this, good how you do that, it's good how dedicated, how much time, normally says how much time the coaches put in when it comes to having a look at kids and doing this, and when they've got to watch people, and you know, I've seen Tink and Matty being up at 2 o'clock in the morning discussing fighters, and I just think it's crazy, you know. So
it's so selfless, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I feel like a lot of people forget. Everyone thinks all about the boxer, and everyone thinks, oh, it's all a boxer, it's a lonely sport, and a lot of people don't realise it's not. It's a team sport, and a lot of the praise doesn't go to the coaches and the nutritionists and the physios and things like that. And I feel like they should get more recognition, really.
Well, your team certainly are.
Oh, they do deserve it.
Well, like you said, it's like an ant mentality. You can achieve so much more together than you can do on your own. So if you're working with people rather than working against them, it can only do you good. Oh,
exactly, you know, we're always willing to take anything on board, you know, even when we go to the spawn, you'll see the coaches talking to the coaches, trying to get points, and it's boxing, you always learn. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter if you're Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, you're always going to learn, you're always going to learn, and the day you think you know it all is the day you want to stop, because this game cannot go on like that. You need to want to learn every day.
I've got one more question for you, Sam. I've just forgotten it. No. One last question. You've already got quite a following with the King's Army.
Mm-hmm.
For any boxing fans out there that haven't seen you yet, why should they come and watch you box? Why should they follow your career? Why should they join the King's Army?
It's great for them to get behind. It's generally great. It's great to come watch a boxing, not just me myself, you know. You always get a good value for money. When you come watch me box, I box on big shows. I'm boxing on British title undercards, things like that. So you're always getting value for money when it generally comes onto the boxing side. It's an absolutely great atmosphere when it comes to it. And I'm not one of these people that'll just sell you a ticket and not talk to you. You know, I make time for every single person after the fight. I'll generally come see you. I'll come see you. I'll spend some time with you. I'm not one of these person that sell you a ticket and not talk to you. I'm not like that. If you're going to come into my King's Army and you're going to come onto the King's Army, you're part of the family, so I expect you to be treated well, and just everyone gets along brilliantly. It's a good day out. It's just a fun day all the way around, really. Yeah.
If any other companies wanted to get on board and support you throughout your career, how would they do that?
It is a great way to put your business out. Obviously I'm boxing on quite high cards, and obviously the higher level I'm getting, the higher cards I am coming on to. You just either have to get in touch with me myself. You can get me through Facebook, through Twitter, anything like that. I could arrange a meeting for you. Basically that's about it. If you could just get us through Facebook or get us through Twitter, or if you're watching this, the video, you can talk to yourself, Peep Magazine, and just could probably get back to me. And then we could arrange a meeting, we could sit down, have a chat. You would never be forced into anything. I would never just force it on like that. It would just be your decision to do that.
Brilliant. Sam Best, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Phil, thank you very much, mate. I've loved it.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
He's got it. He's gone for, going to the top. He's banter.
I think he'll win a belt and he'll keep going and keep going and keep going till he reaches the top.
I reckon he'll keep his record and maybe get a title.
Like his work effort, he puts everything in, like what he's got.
Oh, he's a top of the range bloke. He always helps you in the gym. He's always it's good to be part of the King's Army.
Worst thing is he's a bit of a clown like me. The best thing is he's a bit of a clown like me.
He may look like a mean boxer, but he's a good honest lad, and he'd do anything for you. But the haircut's definitely the worst thing. It's absolutely shocking.
I like him as a boxer. He's a good boxer. He's fast for his weight and everything, and he's got good power. I don't like, it's not as good as me.